You can't see this, but I've picked up a chair and thrown it at you. This is Jeremy Kyle, the audiobook. Coming to iTunes.
Narrated by Lenny Henry.
Do you know what? I'd actually pay for that.
Oh, bless him. He needs to work these days. What's up, people? Welcome to the GSC podcast. I'm one of your hosts, ReinaChii. Joined this week, as always, by Jamie C.
As always, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
You're always here, man.
Hello.
Never leave
In
me,
spirit,
Jamie.
at least.
And Jan is back.
Not as often, yes. Hello.
Gianni, how was life on the front lines? We were telling people about your war diaries as you were away, man.
Well, what we had to do was just get loads of white handkerchiefs and then find some sticks. And that's pretty much it.
Amazing.
That's Italian war for you. What do you expect?
That's a French thing, dude. You can't
That's
steal
what I was
that.
thinking. Yeah.
You Italian bastards stealing everything, man.
Barbity boobity.
Oh, okay, well, we'll just go with the hated side and then switch halfway through. And then everybody doesn't really know whether to love us or hate us.
Sounds like a plan, man. I'm going to apologise in advance to people listening to the podcast this week. I'm sick. I've got a sore throat. If I cough, I'll try and edit the coughs out. But
I love the way
might slip through.
You apologise for that and not the fact that Johnny's here. Is that how little you view Johnny's contribution?
See, now you're just making me feel bad that I forgot Johnny wasn't here. No,
you should feel bad.
Johnny is off in Hong Kong or on his way to
Serving
Hong Kong.
on the front line.
Serving on the front lines.
He's gone back to his people.
He's doing
His
something.
people need him.
Oh, God. Jamie, what have you been up to this week, mate?
Wow. I don't know, because I want to talk about Road Not Taken, but I don't know if I want to steal that from Gianni. Is that something you wanted to talk about this week?
Talk about it as your last thing, because
Yeah.
I forgot I played that.
Because then we could like fusion dance into that one, couldn't we?
Yes.
We could do that.
It'll
Right,
be a seamless handover.
It has been a bit of a week where I've been a bit ill, actually. So we've got little bugs going around. I've got a bit of a tummy bug. So gaming hasn't come natural. But FIFA Street has been the one for me at the moment. And I'll tell you why FIFA Street. This came out March 2012, which was a tough time for the gaming industry. Well, the retail industry for gaming. And obviously we didn't have EA games going into the game group. So it was quite hard to come by these games. So I didn't get to play it much when it came out. With that in mind, I decided to cancel my FIFA 15 pre-order and commit to in a way that I want to commit to this as my FIFA game for the year, because I picked it up for like £7 online or something digital. So I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to spend 45 quid on a game that might not be too different from last year, where I could play FIFA Street and just have something a bit different for a while. But I love it. I enjoyed it when I got to play it a little bit when it came out, and now I'm just really getting into it. And it's just nice to have something different. And like when people talk about FIFA, I'll always say the FIFA 99, probably like 95 or 96 when it was gold. FIFA 96 gold on the SNES, and there was the indoor football on that. And like that's always been my favourite. And so it's quite nice to have the option to go to 5-a-side, 4-a-side, and do these different game modes. Something that's just a bit of a change of what you're used to, really.
Sorry, I'm still reeling from the fact that you can't, like, that's amazing. I guess people aren't aware how much of a FIFA fanboy you usually are, right?
Yeah,
you usually play every year. That's like the mic drop moment right here, man. I can't believe.
No, that's coming later today.
Oh,
There is
okay.
something later today. But no, what I would say about FIFA is like if it goes cheap over Christmas, as it quite typically does, I'll probably see myself pick it up then. But I don't want to pay the 45, 50 in September for the launch. I kind of want to let it die off a bit and see how I do with FIFA Street. Saying that, I'll probably be talking to you at the end of September going, I bought FIFA. Because that's
will
how much of
happen.
a sucker I am when it comes.
Can I be honest? I'll probably slate FIFA all the way up because it will be more the same, blah blah, and then I end up buying it at full price. So I'm with you on that one.
Did that last year. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
bad one.
and the year before. And I think the
But
year
no,
before.
yeah, I mean, because like FIFA, last year's FIFA, I gave it a miss when it came out because it would have just been last gen. Obviously, we didn't get PS4 until Christmas, so I picked it up at the PS4 launch, and I've played it to death recently. So I just kind of thought, like, it's too soon. It's too soon from the last
Too
time
soon, man.
playing
Too
FIFA.
soon.
Yeah, too soon. It's too soon.
It's like
Can't
an
say it.
inappropriate joke.
I got my headphones stuck through my glasses somehow. Right. Anyway, I've also been playing a little bit of Ho Hokum, and I say a little bit because I was kind of just sat tripping watching my son play it more than anything.
What is it?
I'm trying to piece together a bit of a video for this so I can put something up there because it doesn't really do it justice to just talk about it. So I've been thinking about maybe doing a Twitch video with my little boy to showcase the effect it has on him, because just watching him play this game, I spent more time watching him than I did the screen. You basically just start off as this sperm in this giant. That's good, isn't it? Like,
I start off as this sperm in this giant cock. My son
like I let my son play this as you watch the sperm wriggle around. Later on, finding more sperms on the river. But no, you just literally go from not knowing what you're doing, and then you carry on not knowing what you're doing. But time passes, and you've had fun because the music's like really nice. Like visually, it's there. It's nothing out. It's nothing out there, but it's simple but effective. And like I said, these words aren't really going to do that game justice. So I'm going to try and get a Twitch video up over the next couple of days, showcasing what it does and what effect it has on children.
As someone who knows absolutely nothing about this game, I haven't followed it at all. I don't know what it is. What you just said has piqued my interest, man, because I want to know what this game is where you play a sperm and do absolutely nothing but have a good time, man.
But make children smile. And that's why you're
They're not going to have an 18 rated prequel to it, are they?
You stumped him, Gianni.
No,
Digital high five.
just literally in my head, I was thinking about a character called Ho Ho and how he comes, and that's.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
It's Santa Claus, isn't it?
I think the guys who made it don't even know what it is, so I think they're on something. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. Now I've said it, I have to, so that's good.
Yep.
And then the last thing I've really been playing, but maybe not enjoying, was Road Not Taken. It's on the PlayStation Plus for August this year, and I did say to myself that the August lineup for PlayStation Plus probably looks like one of the best I've seen. But then now I've actually played Road Not Taken, I'm not too sure. It's okay. The difficulty spike, it's there. There's no learning curve. It's too quick. The difficulty just spikes right up.
What's the actual game about? Because again, this is another game that I know nothing about.
It's one of these like top-down puzzle games, and you have to reunite the children with their parents in this lost forest, and yeah, like there's puzzle elements. You have to pick them up and chuck them, and if you move around with them, you lose some of your life essence, and if you get down to 0, then you're dead and you start again. But if you imagine Don't Starve,
but it's very much like, so you have that time, and once you die, you're dead, and you have to restart all over again. So you have to go get a certain amount of kids, and the puzzles get harder as you progress. I get what you mean. I loved it at first. I loved the art style. I thought it was a very charming game. And even though some of the parents are a bit stupid, because what you have to do, you have to reunite the parents with kids, and they could be standing one block away from each other, but you have to pick one of them up and literally throw them at the other for them to match, and that's part of the puzzle. So there's a few. It can get a bit comical, a bit like that as well. But yeah, you're right. I got to one point I was like, I don't want to do these puzzles because it didn't come across as fun after a while. It seemed more of a chore. Because that's the other thing. You can pick an item up, but you can only throw it in the direction you're facing. You can't put it down. So if you pick something up by accident, like a raccoon, or if you hit a raccoon, right?
Yeah.
Then the fucking thing will attack you until you're dead, or until you finish the puzzle. And there's nothing from what I gathered, there was nothing you could do to change that.
So throw a blanket over it.
Fucking hell.
Surely the idea would be don't fucking start all the raccoons if they do that, then,
No,
right?
but it's
Yeah,
not
but you
always
might
that
find
simple.
yourself in a position like imagine a D-pad. You've got north, south, east, west. Whatever square you're on, there's all these squares, grids around you. Whatever's north, south, east, west. By pressing the pickup button, you've picked them up.
Okay.
So you might be stuck in a position where something's to your left and the raccoon's to your right, and you're fucked.
Yeah, so you
Aha,
could be
okay.
concentrating picking up a log, and then you end up picking up a fucking raccoon as well with it, and then yeah, and you can't just place it down. You have to throw it, and that pisses off the raccoon, and it comes after you. So, I mean, it's in principle it's okay, but I think they could have done a little bit more to maybe make it a little bit easier, and then maybe take that ability away afterwards, if that makes sense.
Well, I find like we're explaining to you now about this raccoon situation, but they don't give you anything like that within the game. You kind of have to just do it all yourself, and it's like bloody Dark Souls. Then in that sense, you're gonna have to die to learn how to get better at it.
Even Dark Souls gives you a tutorial.
Well, this is harder than Dark Souls. Then official, this is the hardest game.
But at least you get save
Harder
points
than
and
Dark Souls.
like a halfway point as well when you're doing a puzzle, right? So
Yeah, I mean there
yeah,
are
you have
bits
to
in
capitalize.
there are these bits in Road Not Taken where you can like make a sacrifice to an altar, and then it gives you a temporary save point until you die. You could go back there, sort of thing. But
Oh yeah,
it's not
well,
quite the same. So it again, that's quite similar to Dark Souls then because it's a bloody bonfire. Like
yeah,
like
and
you have
don't starve. Yeah,
yeah.
in a way.
So, I think it's a nice animation style. I think Spry Fox have done an okay job, but I would have liked to have seen it like not get so difficult so quick. You know,
Sure.
we'll
I
see.
think the best way
But
to
put
describe
it on
it
your
is,
put it on your PlayStation because it's free. So just
yeah,
have a go.
I think that's the thing. If I paid for it, I'd be pretty fucked off because I wouldn't play it again. But because it's free, I don't really mind too much. But again, it could have been a Vita title in fairness, and I probably would have loved it a bit more. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. You been up to anything else, Gianni?
Oh yeah, we're going up to me.
We're already on you, man. I thought you were doing a fusion dance fucking
We did a
segue.
fusion dance. I'm all up on it.
Seamless.
Well, it was
Okay.
until you brought it to the attention.
Okay, so actually going back to the Vita, it would have been so seamless, right? So talking about the Vita, I bought Danganronpa before I went to Italy and fucking loved it. It's absolutely fucking awesome.
I appreciate the screenshot that you sent me of the girl in her underwear from the game, by the way. Props
Yeah,
to
I don't really want to tart it up as that. It's
that.
as far as pervy Japanese animation studios go, it's actually not that bad. That's probably the worst it gets. There is a bit of an upskirt shot, but it's all blacked out. You can't see anything. It's a bit unnecessary. Anyway,
Tried. I turned the brightness up.
it's zoomed in. So give you a bit of meat on the bones of this. Basically, it's a bunch of high schoolers. Yeah, high schoolers, I think, and they're all locked in this. They're all supposed to be elite in what they do. So you have like an elite sports girl, which is the one that you saw, and there's a nerd who's basically Ben,
Awesome. Props
basically
to that
Ben,
guy.
right? And I think there's 12 of them. We're going back about 3 weeks here. I can't actually remember. Anyway, and this Monokuma, who's this blackened, it's basically an evil bear. And he has this evil scheme and comes up with all these rules. Anyway, the character development and actually it turns into a bit like what's it called? Phoenix Wright, because somebody dies or something happens anyway, and you have this massive like clue finding stage, and then you have the court stage where you have to put together all the facts and then accuse somebody. The problem is, and they missed the trick here, is you can't progress until you have all the clues. And you can't, and if you get it wrong in a court, or in a trial, it keeps giving you options to keep going, to retry. And so with that in mind, I finished the game anyway, so just remember that bit.
Yeah.
Then I started playing Virtue's Last Reward, right? Which I never got into originally, until I understood what it was about. Now, Virtue's Last Reward makes you replay the game several times because it's got loads of endings. I think there's like 22 different endings, right?
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy because you have to. you're essentially doing the same things over again. But once you've done one path, you can skip back to where it branches out. So if you, for example, you have the option to either betray or ally somebody, and you get points on your watch, and if you get 9, you can leave the place. It's the same sort of thing. You're prisoners in this place, and yeah, you have these watches, and if you betray, you get 3 points, they get 0. If you both ally, you both get 2. If you both betray, you get 0. Right? It's that sort of share or shaft sort of thing.
Isn't that how like Jasper Carrot's Golden Ball TV show goes?
No, Kilroy Silk. Kilroy Silk. Look it up. Cheryl Shaft. It's exactly that. Anyway, so you can skip back once you've done one part of the progress tree. You can go back to the bit where you had to make the choice, and you can do the other branch. So it's not all labor intensive. You don't have to redo the puzzles or anything like that up to that point. And that's where I think Danganronpa could have been better. If you collected certain clues, you make an accusation of somebody based on those clues. Even though that might be right, you could still lose the game. Actually, yeah, because if you accuse the wrong person, the game ends, or you all die and whatever. So they could have done something like that with multiple endings based on the clues you found. And but out of the two, Virtue's Last Reward. So I platinumed them both, but Virtue's Last Reward has a very convoluted ending.
What? You platinumed them both?
I platinumed them both.
GG, man. That's awesome.
Holiday.
It's not that difficult, in fairness. Although Virtue's Last Reward is about 40 hours long, and that's skipping a hell of a lot of stuff. But it might have been interesting. I don't know. I got a bit fed up towards the end of listening to it. Out of the two, Danganronpa is the game to go for, and I'm really excited now for the second one because Monokuma is the best evil genius. He's the best. He's brilliant.
Awesome, man.
So apart from that, I played some Metrico. That's a great game. I really do love that. It really does punish your ignorance. So it's that puzzler where they were showcasing at E3, I believe, and the environment, what's it called, interacts with the button presses. So, for example, if you're just running right, the ledge you want to get to could be going in the same direction, right? So you'll never make the jump.
Okay.
So you have to come up with another way of getting from A to B, whilst influencing the landscape to be able to get to it, if that makes any sense. So some of them, if you jump, a ledge will go up a certain height, and you jump again, it goes up the same distance, up to a point where, like, 3 or 4 times, for example. And so then you won't be able to make that jump. So you have to make sure you don't jump enough times so you can actually make... I'm not explaining it very well.
No, dude, I'm there, man. Yeah, I get it completely. It sounds really cool, man.
It is a great game mechanic. Incredibly frustrating at times when you get to a puzzle and you're like, I can't fucking do this. Because it's a bit like the whole Dark Souls idea of the game's not difficult, you're just shit.
Yeah.
You're thick. It's about... So you've got to think outside the box a lot of the time. And I got really far of it before I literally hit a brick wall. And I didn't want to YouTube it. So I haven't played it since. But I'm going to pick it up again and I'm going to beat this motherfucking game. But great. It's a great game. I think it was free. Yeah, it's free on PlayStation Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, it still is this August. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said about August being quite strong.
Great. It's a great month.
Unless you're any given person in the YouTube comments and you call it Indie Station 4, indie games.
Is that a bad thing? Whoever that is, you're a dick.
That's everyone, man, at the moment.
Or is that you?
That's not me. I love indie games.
Is that you to make it look like we got commenters?
Other videos, unpopular videos.
Yeah, popular.
But, so apart from that, I played Guacamelee again, Super Turbo Championship Edition.
Amazing name.
Have we all played that? Apart from
EX plus Alpha, yeah.
So that was good fun to play through again. I didn't play through on hard, and that's literally the only trophy I need to platinum it, which is...
We're going to have to do it 2-player then, aren't we, Gianni?
Yes. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Sounds like a challenge.
We'd do a speed run because I've got absolutely everything, and it's the only thing left.
I did
And
the
again,
campaign, I think, in about 3.5 hours or something like that.
oh really? I think mine was about 12.
I think I was ranked. It came up with my rank afterwards. It says like you're 60th in the world. I was like, fucking yes, let's do this.
What?
Nice.
I know, right?
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
Nice.
not
So,
quite. It's not top 59 though, is it?
Not quite top 59.
No, so close to that all important 59. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's pretty much. Apart from playing some old school like SNES and N64 and kicking ass at Mario Kart again in Italy, that's me done. That's all I've been playing. So yeah,
Awesome, man. I actually played some games this week. Some games, man. I picked up Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the PC. That game is fun, man. I don't know why you guys don't like Street Fighter.
because it's the same game that's been released since 2010
Dude,
or whatever it came out.
I don't want it to be a different game. The game is perfect the way it is, man.
We're stop buying them. Just buy keep playing the original one.
Easily the best fighting game ever, man.
Like Poison actually gets her dick out in this version.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, there's 6 new characters, man. Like they were like in all the trailers, 6 new fighters and stuff. I got the game, went into the game, went into like matchmaking, proceeded to pick Ryu, and then only play as Ryu for the next 4 hours.
Why did they not release a 69p version of Street Fighter 4, which is literally Ryu and Ken, or just Ryu and Ryu alternate costume?
I don't know, man. I love Street Fighter so much, but I only ever play Ryu, man. There's all those characters just going to waste because I only play Ryu.
We can really piss off Rikki as well here, and Jonny, and just say that Street Fighter is... I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it just for sake of it, because, yeah.
What? Wait, what?
If I called Street Fighter shit, they're going to be all over... They'll be the ones that do
my.
Well, I would disagree with you, and the fighting game scene would disagree with you, man.
No. I'm just... I was taking a piss, but...
Great.
I still think they take the piss with that franchise.
I purposely didn't tell Johnny that I was getting Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PC. Even though we spoke about it ages ago, I don't fancy getting my ass wrecked that soon, man. I've been doing okay online, man.
Stop!
I'm not great at that game, but like playing Street Fighter is like riding a bike. If you've ever been like fairly decent at Street Fighter, it's like muscle memory. It just comes back to you. I love it, man.
I can honestly say I've never been shafted by Jonny whilst riding my bike.
Oh, you ain't lived, mate.
Just putting it out there.
No, apart from Ultra Street Fighter, then I've been playing a game on my phone because I just upgraded to a Samsung Galaxy S5. Good times, and you got to break it in with a new game. So I've been playing Knights of Pen and Paper.
What?
It's like a little. Do you remember Game Dev Story?
Oh yeah.
So it's got like the same art style as that. I think the guys that made it might be affiliated as well because I fought a party called the Game Dev Guys, and it's like a load of characters who look like they should be from Game Dev Story. But it's basically a turn-based RPG in the setting of like a bunch of people sitting down to play a game of D&D. So there's like a table, and there's a guy sat at the front who's like the GM or whatever, and then your party members are like the players, but you have random battles, and that's like your party, and then like monsters are in the foreground, so you're like attacking them and stuff. It's surprisingly good, man. There's a lot of like in jokes and stuff, which I don't really get a lot of, but some of them are really funny. It's a good game, man.
I see it.
Knights of Pen and Paper, check it out, man. It's like super cheap as well. Knights of Pen and Paper +1 is the one that I got. Good times.
No.
And I've also been playing Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment for the Vita.
Oh yeah, that came out.
Snuck out under the radar, man. I didn't even know it was out until like I heard it. I think it was on like in a passing comment on like an IGN video or something. They mentioned, "Oh yeah, this is coming out."
Is that this really like super expensive? Not super expensive, like 30 or 35 quid Vita game that looks like a budget Persona.
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. But it'll sell because it's like, is it the first official game for the?
It's the first game. It's the first game that we've got like in the West. It's not the first game that's come out in Japan, I don't think.
So it'll sell over here, won't it? So
it's actually really good, man. I mean, the graphics aren't great. It looks like an up-res PSP game. But
I was just about to ask: is it a Vita game or is it like a ported game onto the Vita? Like
no, I'm fairly sure it is an up-res PSP game, or at some point it was going to be on the PSP because it looks like it. But the actual like game itself is really good, man. Especially if you're a fan of the show or the novels. Like it's like an alternate retelling kind of thing of like the first part of the show, like with a load of extra things thrown in. It's really decent. The gameplay's not bad either. I think they've captured the combat system from the fictional MMO in the show pretty well, like the way it's supposed to flow and stuff. And I'm really enjoying it, man. I can see me finishing it, which is rare to say these days. I barely finish anything, so
I believe that when I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty decent, and it starts off like it's part of the show as well. It shows a little recap, and then it has the intro from the show, and then the game starts. Oh my god, made me feel right at home. Loved it. Cool. Well, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. So let's start talking about stuff that everyone else was talking about 2 weeks ago.
Wait.
All right,
wait.
grind us back, Gianni.
What do I play next?
What do you play next?
The Wolf Among Us.
Transistor or Child of Light?
The Wolf Among Us.
Well, apart from that, but I don't have PS3.
If I had to tell you one of those games to play, it's hard because I think you might prefer the combat in Child of Light, although they're very similar. Transistor might be a bit too arty for you in a way, if that makes sense. The game itself, not the style.
Too arty for you.
I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to make myself sound like a pretentious dick, but I mean, like, I think
You're
you
doing
might.
a bad job.
Well, like unfinished one.
I think for Gianni, you might. What am I doing? Moving in on the mic too much. I think you might prefer Child of Light for many aspects. Like,
Right.
maybe go listen to a bit of the Transistor soundtrack, but not too much. And if you think the music sounds cool, then go with Transistor, because that's one of the selling points for the game. That was probably the deal breaker that's made it my game of the year so far. Is the music is just perfect.
This is going to sound stupid. Could I play both of them?
I think
I don't want to say at the same time.
Hang on. Why is there even a question?
I know.
Transistor will take you 5 hours, right? And then Child of Light could take you not much longer. So you could get both done this bank holiday. You'll be fine.
Ah, fucking hell. It's like you know me. All right, moving on.
Cool. Well, I was about to start talking about Gamescom stuff, but first I'm just gonna bring attention to the reason why sometimes we don't flow properly, right? Because I'm looking at the fucking Skype chat and I see Janice posted a message, a background conversation saying, "Jamie, did you see the new Adventure Time game coming out in November?" And I've read this, so now I'm thinking about a new Adventure Time game coming out, not about fucking Gamescom.
All right. All right. This, I don't know much about it. I read a quick article on it, and I just remembered now, which is why it's in the chat. And if you want to get a little bit excited, it kind of looks like Zelda from the SNES.
Yeah, but like, okay, let me tell you a problem, right? Kotaku have only just started. We don't normally mention we don't mention professional places normally, right?
We don't mention Kotaku.
I was going to say other places, but I wouldn't even put us in the same category. So, excuse me. The problem is Kotaku have only just started reporting on it, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? This is old news, right?" This was like before E3. This game was announced, but no. If you want a good Adventure Time game for now, play Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Like, people would have bought the Explore the Dungeon because I don't know why, because it was on the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U. So that gave people a bit more of access to it. But it's a shit game. If you go on the DS version has actually come out over here on the eShop now, but you can play foreign DS games on your 3DS. So when it came out in America, I picked up a copy of the Ice King one for my wife for the DS. So we've had that. Like, that's the Adventure Time game. That's the old Zelda style. Like, it's really good. Really, really good. Go back to that one because it'll be cheap now. And then this new one is coming out at about 20 quid in November. But I still think if you want to scratch the Adventure Time itch and jump on the train a bit too late. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Every time I think of an Adventure Time game, I think it could be so perfect if it was like Ni no Kuni. Like, if they made a game like that for Adventure Time, it just would be amazing.
No, they just need to look at Mario RPG back in the day and just go, do that. Because this looks like the dungeon one.
Fuck off, Jamie. I'm not even gonna talk about that on the podcast, you dick.
Anyway, Explore the Dungeon was just like top-down 4-player sort of like Diablo without the isometric grids. It was just top down. That's all that was. But it was boring. It was so slow.
Yeah,
That was the biggest problem for it.
Yeah, and I'm a bit worried about this one. It looks like it could go the same way. I think the only reason they're making comparisons to Zelda is because there's one bit where you got a grassy field of a few trees, an enemy, and a bridge over water, right? And it looks like the bridge near Hyrule Castle. Yeah, and that's it. That's literally it. Everything else looks just like the old one. It's made by the same people who made the other two shit ones. Apparently, there's another shit one. So yeah, I don't know. I want it to be good, but I think deep down I know it's going to be shit.
It'll be all right. Just go back and play Ice King while it's still like garbage, because that's, like I said, that's the one.
Can I just come around to you? Have you still got it, and I can borrow it?
Yeah. That's something for another time. But yeah, no, definitely, it's one to watch. Just ignore the Explore the Dungeon one.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, Gamescom, guys. Gamescom happened like a week and a half ago. I watched all the press conferences, so I knew everything about Gamescom that day and a couple of days afterwards. But it's been like a week and a half, so I think we just talk about the main things that came out of it, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft had a really good conference. I don't know whether you guys like watched the conferences like afterwards or anything like that, but their conference was much better than before.
I think critics seem to think they had the better time as well.
Yeah, so the stuff that we got out of their conference, Halo 5 beta is coming in December.
Does that get you moist?
If I have an Xbox One by then, I shall definitely be playing it, but it's still contingent on if I have an Xbox One by then.
Yeah, of course.
They showed some Quantum Break gameplay. All we'd seen up to this point was like CGI trailers and some weird CGI and live action hybrid trailers. And they showed some gameplay, and it looks all right, to be honest.
Did I dream that there's a TV series tying into it, or is that real?
I think there may have been at one point, but Microsoft axed their TV thing, didn't they? So there was going to be a whole Xbox TV line of programming and stuff, but I think just the Halo thing that they're doing now.
I think they saw powers coming from Sony and went, whoa, we're not going to be anywhere near as good as this, so we better just stop.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
If you could see me right now, I'm laughing. But yeah, fucking hell. They were like, whoa, they've got it nailed now. They've got powers. We've got no chance.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys check out the Quantum Break gameplay?
Nope.
Yes.
I
actually did.
It looks kind of Infamous-y, man. Like Infamous crossed with Watch Dogs. So I don't know what to make of it.
Well, now you say that, I can see him running the way Infamous will have the character models run, but then Watch Dogs for the cover and stuff. Yeah, I'm intrigued. This is a game that I'd like to play a demo of before committing to anything, which could be a long time coming.
Yeah, I mean, some of the powers that they showed off were really cool, man. Specifically the ones where like you can move at super speed or whatever, but like everyone else just kind of freezes as you dart across, and like shock waves go through the environment. It makes the environment sort of ripple as you run. And like when you get to your destination, like time resumes elsewhere. That looks really cool, the effect that they've dialed up for that. There were some that weren't so cool, like when he was like freezing a guy and firing a load of shots, and then the shots were all just sitting in front of the guy's face until it dissipated, and then they all flew through at once. That maybe not so great. I just hit my mic in the face as I was actioning things going into someone's face. Sorry about that.
Or the bit where like Professor Xavier was like making bullets bend round that like meat hook hanging down. Like that bit was weird, wasn't it?
Why are we talking about Wanted now?
Sorry.
Oh, God. The part that I didn't like, though, was right at the end of the gameplay thing that they were showing. There was a really cool scene where there was like a car crash on the bridge, and then time froze. Like the car was just about to hit him, and then time froze, and he was able to walk up and explore everything. And it was all really cool. Everything looked like time had literally frozen. Like people's expressions and stuff were really well captured. And then two big meathead guys, like big armored guys with like Gatling guns, pretty much generic like mid-boss A and generic mid-boss B, walked out like unaffected by the time freeze and just started shooting their miniguns about. And I just
Double
thought,
Dragon would have fucked them up. There.
yeah, I was just thinking that is so fucking generic, man. Like, could you not have done something cooler or something more unique there? But who knows, man? The game itself looks pretty fun, and if I do end up picking up an Xbox One, I know I'll own one eventually. I'll definitely end up playing it. So cool. Quantum Break, good times.
Good times.
Let's talk Tomb Raider, guys.
Yeah, let's talk about Tomb Raider exclusivity then. So there's like I'll have to admit I'd kind of forgotten Gamescom was on, and then I got that text from you, and I thought, hang on, where's this? And then I remembered Gamescom. So I was a bit blown away. I didn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They're talking to what's his bloody face now? Phil Spencer, that's the one. They were asking him about it, and he responded to all the exclusivity saying, oh, it's down to whatever, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics want to do with it. But did Square Enix come out and say, no, it's definitely only on Microsoft now?
I don't think they haven't said anything exactly like that. I think their statement, they did release a statement, but it was like blowing smoke up everyone's ass. Like, we're doing this to grow our brand and stuff. And like, obviously we don't want like our fans with PlayStation 4s to be left out. And don't worry, the new Guardian of Light game's coming out for that console, so you can buy that. And then they were like, also you can get Tomb Raider HD Remaster or whatever for that Definitive Edition for that console as well. So you can enjoy those whilst everyone else plays the new one. Like,
so it will come out.
Well, I don't know.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, I'm not really too fussed about having to. I mean, it is eventually coming out on both consoles, right?
That's not confirmed.
Well,
that's speculation.
No, all it was is an early access. It was just an early access. Well, from what I read, it's just an early access exclusive.
They've paid so much money that nobody's going to be allowed to say how long it's timed for. They just have to say it's exclusive. They can't say timed exclusive right now because they've paid a lot of money to not say that.
Yeah,
so.
Phil Spencer went out of his way to say that Microsoft don't own the IP. So ultimately, it is up to Square Enix whether they decide they want it to come out on other platforms or not. But
they can come out with all the diplomatic bullshit all they want. It's not exclusive. The game will come out on both consoles. Otherwise, they would have said.
What do we think about the controversy that sprung from that though? Because it is just because Microsoft they used the term exclusive this fall, like on stage, that everyone was like, "Wait, what? It's exclusive?" Like, does that term even work there? I mean, to me, an exclusive means it's only on that platform. You can't get it elsewhere.
Ooh,
right?
You see, there's a difference. That they would have said only on Xbox. They would have been if it was exclusive, they would have made it absolutely clear. They said exclusive this fall, and it's very clever marketing.
Yeah, but think of the way that's worded though, because they said coming to Xbox One exclusively this fall, right? Whereas whenever you see, I mean, I know we're going to talk about Sony in a minute, but in their press conference, they make it like a big deal of saying makes his console debut or something. Yeah. Or like you can play it first on. So
all I'm saying is what they would normally package it as. They would have said originally coming this fall, and then afterwards at the end or at the beginning exclusive to Microsoft, whatever. They would normally split it up. But because they put it all in one, and that's the subtle difference. That's where you read into it.
I mean, I'll be honest. When I first heard the news, I was fucking livid, man, and I shouldn't have been because I don't like to think of myself as a fanboy. But in my head, I was thinking, well, hang on, like these numbers don't add up. Why would you make that an exclusive? Like there's literally twice the amount of PlayStation 4s on the market than there are Xbox Ones. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition sold 69% of its units on the PlayStation 4. Like, you're just like excluded most of your fan base by doing this, and like it made me a bit pissed off. And then I thought to myself, well, I didn't really like Tomb Raider that much anyway, so it didn't bother me.
I think the bit that got me is that if this had happened with the Tomb Raider we got, when was this now? Last year or the year before?
It was
last year, 2012. Right. So yeah, of course. No, that was this year.
Or whatever.
Don't lose me now. 2012 then, or whatever. But anyway, when we got that version, if that had been a console exclusive, I wouldn't have been fussed because I would have just gone, oh look, it's something relaunching. That makes sense that somebody might have struck an exclusive deal, but this is a sequel to a popular new game.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at exclusivity. That's what gets me a bit.
Is it enough, bearing in mind the Sony console sold? Is it going to be enough for someone to go, oh, I'm going to go buy an Xbox One? Or are they just going to go, oh, well, I'm a bit gutted, but I'll wait until it comes out on my console?
Jamie loved the first Tomb Raider game, man. Is it like...
Well, it's an open question. I'm asking both of you, actually. It's not for me, but for you guys.
When I text him on the day saying that Tomb Raider's an exclusive, I literally got a reply saying, well, I'm going to have to get an Xbox One sooner then. Because like, you'd already planned to get one for Crackdown, hadn't you? So
Crackdown next Christmas would have been the reason I bought one, but I'm not going to miss out on Tomb Raider at launch.
There you go, man. So simple as that. It's done its job, man. People will buy it to play Tomb Raider.
If they're fans of... I'm not an old Tomb Raider fan, I've told you that before, but like they started to get good again. Like Underworld was actually quite enjoyable, and this whole relaunch of it was fantastic. Not many games have come close to that in the last couple of years.
I see. I did enjoy the first one, but I have a real big bugbear, and it's probably something we're going to have to talk about another time, but there's something that's really pissed me off that's happened.
Fucking tell us now, man.
All right.
Don't leave me hanging. I want to know now.
This is Man City. Go on.
Rewind to when the Xbox One and the PS4 were dreams for us, and they were coming out that November. So about this time last year.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was an announcement made. The PS4 is not going to be backwards compatible. The Xbox One is not going to be backwards compatible because they physically cannot do it. Right?
Yeah.
They physically cannot do it. We had a big debate about it, and Jonny said the technology or the building, the architecture of the systems cannot be backwards compatible.
Yep.
If that's the case, how come they could quickly turn around? Bearing in mind, Tomb Raider came out that year, and then was it last year or the year before? Whatever. Tomb Raider is a prime example. It came out the year whenever it did.
Yeah.
And they had a year turnaround. They had a year turnaround to port it to the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, they are not. No company in their right mind would throw a shitload of money, if it was that difficult, throw a shitload of money at a HD remix.
You're working under the assumption that they released Tomb Raider, and then when the consoles released, they were like, "Oh, we better release it on the new ones." Whereas I bet probably a year and a half prior to the launch of the new consoles, those like definitive edition versions were being worked on. So
yeah, again, well, first of all, I don't think that's the case at all, because they would have been. This is a brand new franchise, right? They would have. It's a reboot of the game, but it was from the ground up, from what I imagine. So they would have had to put a lot of resource into it. And this would have been about 2 or 3 year development time, maybe even 4 years. I don't think they would have had the dev kits for the PS4 and Xbox One back then.
Dude, people have had the dev kits for the PS4 for like 4 years or something. Some devs. Yeah. It's been crazy. They started developing the PS4 pretty much as soon as the PS3 launched.
I don't know.
The PS4 was pretty much designed with feedback from all the developers, man. They've been like in developing this thing from the beginning.
All right, but why would they do? Watch Dogs is the next one that's going to get a HD treatment from Square Enix. You've also got The Last of Us, which has just come out, and literally a year later.
Sleeping Dogs, yeah.
Sleeping Dogs, yeah.
Sleeping Dogs, not Watch Dogs.
I did that though. Don't worry.
Fucking
do it, yeah.
And there's going to be more. You can guarantee you there's going to be more last gen titles that are going to get this HD treatment. And I honestly think that Sony and Microsoft are taking a piss out of the gamers, because they're playing.
Gianni, mate, did you listen to last week's podcast?
I know. Where were you? We had a big rant about this.
No, I didn't listen. No.
Look. How can we endorse our product with you doing that?
I thought someone might just give me a rundown. I don't know. No,
I was pretty much with you though, man. I don't like them. I don't like the idea of them, but I understand in some cases that they might be a necessary evil.
No, fuck off. No. When you're talking about a year between games, I understand the was it a DuckTales one, right? That's like 2 generations almost. Not DuckTales.
Oh, did you pick that up? Sorry.
Oh yeah. God, Gianni.
No,
But,
I'm sorry, I can't accept it.
fuck it. Do you know what? Like, I got Hotline Miami for free today because I own the last gen version, so it always
but you
works out in the end.
got it for free. Anyway.
Good times, man. Gianni, what do you make of The Last of Us Remastered then? What do you think of that? That's been less than a year before that came out.
Yeah,
That was June, wasn't it?
this
Yeah.
is exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, even before the game was released, we knew it was coming out on the PS4 as well.
It would have still been released for PS3 to just sell through consoles sat on shelves.
Yeah, but
That's
this
the thing.
was the thing though. They announced that, was it last year? Last year they announced it, that before the release date. Because I remember sitting there going, well, "What? You can't before the game hasn't even been released yet, and you're telling us it's coming out on next gen."
No, they've only announced that this year. That would have been earlier this. It's not
sure.
been that long. Honestly, it was like probably about March, April this year. It wasn't last year they announced that. It's recent because I was looking out for pre-orders straight away.
I'm crashing and burning here.
It's fine, Gianni.
Look,
We've missed you,
don't
man.
like it.
I just want to hear you talk.
I don't like it.
Talk about the 1 terabyte COD console.
Yeah, Gianni, that's your favourite thing, man. The 1 terabyte COD console.
They're going to charge an extra, well, $100 extra. I don't know what the UK price point's going to be. You don't get the game with it, though, do you?
What?
Do you seriously not?
I don't know. Do you? I
Who are
didn't
they,
see.
Nintendo?
I lost interest. 1 terabyte hard drive. It looks like something. I don't know.
I'd be very surprised if you don't at least
probably-
digital version of COD
Come back to us, Ben.
Advanced Warfare from that. Am I all dead?
Oh, that's better.
Did I zone out there?
You keep really, we got to find out if you get the game or not, because that's.
I'm sure you do. Maybe I just didn't care enough.
Well, you say that, but then I bought my Yoshi 3DS XL.
And that didn't come with a game, did it?
That didn't come with a fucking Yoshi game. I was like, what is this?
They did the same thing with the Pokemon games too, man.
Yeah,
The
but
Pokemon 3DS came out and then like fucking didn't even come with the game.
Yeah,
What's the point of that?
Nintendo could release a build-your-own console and charge you per piece, and it would be more expensive than a full one if it was all Pokemon branded.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll tell you what console does come with the game.
What console comes with the game? Sunset Overdrive,
Yeah.
the white Xbox One.
I'll tell you what I've ordered.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Right, it's a white Xbox One digital download of Sunset Overdrive. Shall I tell you the selling point for me then?
Go on.
One, I knew I had to get one anyway for Tomb Raider this year, so why not get the nice white one? And two, when they were like, yeah, Sunset Overdrive, man, it's like Tony Hawk mixed with Crackdown. It's like, fucking hell, I'm done. I don't care.
I never see the appeal of the white console. Like, why would you want a white? You could get this nice black one that matches your TV and like your speakers and stuff, or you can get this white one that's gonna get fucking dirty.
Two brown weeds.
What the fuck?
Oh,
I like it to be a little bit different. I don't care. I'd have them all. I want the Destiny white PS4 now.
Nah, they can keep their white PS4.
But yeah, so I'm sold on Xbox a little bit earlier than planned because I knew Crackdown was going to be the selling point, and then the whole Tomb Raider thing became an issue. And now just to have, I might as well go for it then. If I'm going to pay £350 for it, I might as well get the game and be a bit different with the color. Yeah, why not? I've done it.
Cool. That's pretty much everything about Microsoft's press conference then. Let's talk about a couple of the highlights from Sony's press conference. One of the first things they came out on stage and said was that they've sold 10 million consoles.
Sold through, yeah.
Yeah, to consumers. So that's not sold to stores.
Yeah.
That is how many people own PS4s. That's how many PS4s are in the wild at the moment.
Good job, buddy.
It's good. It's something like double what their estimate was at this time. And it's also, I think, creeping up on how many Vitas exist in the wild.
Exist?
Yeah, man. Wow, how many have sold through? You know.
Oh, right, okay, sold through, right, yeah.
And probably exist. They stopped making them for a bit or something. They stopped the. Oh no, they ran out of stock to supply retailers. So even Sony underestimated, or thought that the Vitas were going to sell even worse. So they ran out. Anyway,
they were having an audit at their Chinese warehouse, so they had to stop letting the kids in for a few days, so they couldn't make any.
I quite enjoyed Sony's press conference. It was pretty much par for the course. If you saw Sony's E3 press conference this year, slightly less cringeworthy. There was less cringeworthy moments, that's for sure.
Less powers, right?
Less powers, yeah, basically. But no, they announced some really cool stuff. There was a lot of indie stuff there, but you know, you should really expect that on PlayStation now because they're doing a really good job of nurturing that scene. one of the it's down on our list of things to talk about. It just says the Tomorrow Children, right? And I'm fairly sure this is the new game by the guys at Pixel Junk, right? Who make the Pixel Junk games.
Oh, now you're asking too much of me. I can't remember that. All I remember about this is that it's going to be this giant open world sandbox, and then you can go out to work, you can mine, you can dig, you can come back to your town and do stuff in the town. If there's, if you're being invaded by aliens, you can go back and help, or you can just stay out doing what you're doing. It's my kind of thing in that way, that I'm just going to get to fuck around and do what I want in a big sandbox. And that's what I love about it.
It's got a really strong communist theme as well, yeah? Is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Everyone looks kind of like little cute dolls kind of thing, but they all move really robotically to like sort of fit with the communism theme. It looks like you're mining giants as well, or dead giants you mine out. It looks surprisingly cool, and very different from everything that I've seen before from the guys who did the Pixel Junk series. So interesting stuff there. We got some more info on Bloodborne, which I cannot wait for, man. It looks so good. Some new tweaks to that might make Jamie enjoy it more would be that they've made the gameplay a lot faster and a lot more sort of focused on like being aggressive rather than like hiding behind your shield.
Yeah, because one thing they've spoken about now is that you can gain life back from killing enemies. So and one thing that really was really nice in the description of this is that they talk about it being your will to live. So as you get attacked, you're losing the will to live. But if you fight back and you take that chance and you succeed, you're gaining back your will to live. I thought that was just artistic. I thought that was beautiful.
It looks really sweet. So the system kind of works where you'll take damage, but the damage will initially just be sort of like a yellow bar or something.
It's like block damage.
Damage. Kind of like chip damage, yeah. And if you can strike an enemy before that damage goes down, then your health will stop going down, and you'll only lose a really small amount of health. So it looks good, man. I also appreciate the fact that they've really gone all out with like adding a whole new dodge system to make the dodges a lot faster, and pretty much outright come and said that you can't just like pansy ass behind a shield anymore, because the gun is going to be there most of the time. Like, that is your offhand weapon. You aren't going to be hiding behind a shield, because the gun's used to like stun enemies and stuff to help you combo them, which I think is freaking sweet, man. Like, I'm all for like evolving that combat system in that franchise, so should be good. And then, Gianni, did you get to see much of the stuff for Tearaway Unwrapped?
No, I did not.
So, were you aware of this?
Yes.
Oh, right. I just wondered how much of us, because like obviously you're the big fan of Tearaway, aren't you? So I just thought that might have been the one for you.
I have seen various snippets of Tearaway around, and no, I haven't actually looked into it in any greater detail for some reason, because I'm like that. But do tell.
Cool. Well, it's a rather than just a straight port. They've pretty much remade the first Tearaway game, so it's the same story. It's going to follow the same plot, but all of the features have been changed up to take advantage of the DualShock 4 controller and the inputs on the PS4. Rather than there was a lot of stuff in the first Tearaway game. Not that I played it, but I mean, you would know where like you can poke your fingers through the back of the screen and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. So that kind of stuff will be like, they'll remove that, but there'll be sections where like the light bar on the front of the controller will shine into the world through the TV, so you can light stuff up with that.
Nice.
And yeah, it's looking pretty interesting, man. And in a way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't play it on the Vita, because it means that I can go into this version completely fresh, you know?
Mm.
But
you should.
Cool. Good. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about from the press conference. They didn't really do anything else. Well, they probably did, but I've forgotten because it's been like 2 weeks. Transparency! Yeah. We got some stuff in other news here, which I don't know anything about, Jay, so do you want to go through these?
Yeah, I've seen from yesterday. So we're a week away now from Sucker Punch releasing the infamous standalone DLC for the game. And they've had some layoffs. Like, nobody really knows at the moment what's going on, but it's quite sad to hear, because obviously Infamous, I've spoken about. I'm a big fan of that game. Well, we are big fans of the series of Infamous games. Some of you not so much the newest one, but yeah, like I think overall, as a group, as a collective, we could say that we enjoy the Infamous games.
Yep.
I think the balance is there with us loving it and some people not. But hey, That's how things work. But no, it is sad to hear. We do talk about layoffs from other companies, so it wouldn't have been fair to not say anything. Even at this point when we don't really know anything, it is just horrible to hear. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know if they've had some problems and they're not liking the DLC and stuff, and they've just gone, well, fuck you then.
Well,
but, you know.
I mean, as a general rule, like jobs in the games industry aren't the safest unless you're sort of unless you're like art director or game designer, you know. If you're
fucking Iwata at the moment.
if you're just any other artist or coder, like you may have just been brought on for a single project, you know, and then let go after that. Now, and if these are like long-term employees that have been laid off, then that would be quite worrying, but we're going to have to wait till more details surface.
Yeah, it could be quite misleading. This could just be project team members that were on to do the DLC and now their work's done, or, you know, something like that. Like, there might have been something else. There might have been something Sucker Punch were working on that's now been canned. But we'll see.
They needed extra resource for the new architecture, and then now they've got that up and running, they haven't needed that many staff anymore, perhaps?
I think they were going to use those staff to start porting onto the next gen version, but then they realized that's not coming for a while. So they're going to, the next console won't be here for a while, so they don't need next gen versions yet. Right. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. The only other thing really then, because we've talked for quite a while, is just FIFA 15 UK cover is going to feature Eden Hazard. I don't know what that means to people if they care. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, this is the one that famously kicked the ball boy in the side. I don't know what that means to people listening to this. Obviously, we know that Lionel Messi has become the cover star for FIFA now. He was long-term Pez.
Wait, is this the first time in God knows how long that Wayne Rooney's not been on the UK cover?
They'll probably add him on the other side, just like eating something.
A horror version.
I don't know. It's probably asking a bit much now. I don't know. They don't really do many Shrek games. Oh, I said it, look, Shrek. But yeah. Oh, somebody had to. But yeah,
we're done.
Yeah, fuck it. No. I don't know. Before we go, though, can I just put a big shout out to our friend Rikki, who I've begged and begged just to make sure these Dark Souls videos keep coming. He's been putting up some platinum runs for Dark Souls 2. And they're coming across really well, and I think people are enjoying watching them. I'm loving having them on the channel.
Yeah, dude.
Bless him, part one, he did put a little shout out saying that we keep him entertained weekly, so somebody's listening. But it's nice. So Rikki, do some more. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing this whole thing unfold, and yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to jump in.
I'm glad you brought it up now, because I was just going to tie it into the ending, man. But mad shout out to Rikki for actually putting like the time in to do the platinum run and record it and put it up on the channel. Also loving your commentary, man. When he was like halfway through, I think it was like halfway through episode 2, and he was like, oh, maybe I'll get some of the other guys to like record commentary instead. Fuck that shit, man. I'm enjoying your commentary and your broken English. I love it, man.
It means we have to do fuck all.
No, I'm really enjoying it, man. It's been so long since I've seen Rikki, man, and I get to speak to him very, very rarely. I mean, he's been in Japan, what, like 5-6 years now?
Well, yeah.
Something
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like...
Wait, when did we mutilate Josh that time?
All right, let's say more like 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, man, and it's really nice. 1, watching a game that I love, and 2, listening to like my friend that I haven't seen in so long, just enjoying like going for the platinum run. It's
all about, man.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. So keep it up. It's amazing.
And more hits for the site.
Thanks,
bye.
One other big shout out as well is that another friend of the show, well, long-term friend of mine, and somebody who's always keen on listening and always gives feedback on the show. I've got a friend, Darrell, who's... Well, hopefully you put it on this one. We got a new bit of intro music.
Yeah, you'd have heard it. You'd have heard it at the beginning of this podcast. It's really
so like shout out. He's made that from scratch for us, with us in mind. He wanted that for us, and like he's going to work on some outro and some other little bits for us to use throughout the channel. And that's what I wanted, because I do like the intro we've been using. 1, because it ties into Carpenter films, and 2, because it's a remix made for a game. So there's little bits in there that are cool about it, but it's nice knowing now that we've got something that's been made for us. So like a big thank you.
Something completely original and something
big
that's
thank
like
you, man.
Our sound, man. You're an absolute legend. After we finish doing the sign-offs and stuff, you'll hear the the actual instrumental track like in full, because I'll put it at the end of the podcast just so you can hear it again, because it's that good.
And speaking of original things, which you can only find here, I think I speak for everyone when I say thanks to Jamie for bringing back House of Spagnoli. I have thoroughly enjoyed them. Oh my god, I have missed it, and I'm glad that you're still doing them. You know, I appreciate a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a problem. There's a problem with the House of Spagnoli that we had around episode 6 or 7, that I had loads of recording put together in one, and it was causing issues. But now we should be all right. We should be back on track.
Right. Let me have a little bitch before we finish. Right.
Oh, yep.
I picked up Mass Effect 3 on the PC the other day. I bought it fully intending. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to play some of this. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to see what people think. You fucking can't use a controller on the PC version. You have to play with mouse and keyboard. I can't play this game with mouse and keyboard. I wanted to.
Could get a refund, man. Take it back to the shop. Oh.
But no, I'm looking into stuff that I can do, man.
When you write a letter to EA, they can.
So there's stuff in the pipeline, but
why don't you write to Casey Hudson? Let me tell somebody who cares. But no, seriously, some sort of petition to get Ben playing Gods Will Be Watching on PC. I want to see somebody play that, and I can't play it myself.
Do you know what? I'm going to have my own petition and get Ben to play Final Fantasy 14, because I swear Square Enix have made like 40 quid off me, and I haven't played it once in 4 months.
Don't even start this shit with me on the podcast, right? Because every time I'm like, dude, you're going to come and play some Final Fantasy 14. You're like, yeah, man, I'll be on. And then you never fucking turn
bollocks,
up, man.
Absolute bollocks. You are full of shit. And on that note, whilst I drive down to Oxford and kick your motherfucking ass, I think we should wrap this up before you start more lines.
I think
know the lines. Thank you for listening.
Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed the podcast, guys. It's always really enjoyable recording with these guys. Good times, like highlight of my week. If you guys liked it, leave us a like, leave us a comment. If you didn't like it, leave us a comment. Tell us we're shit. We'll enjoy it anyway.
If you don't like it, why are you listening?
You can follow us on Facebook at GSC Games. We're also on Twitter at GSC_games. If you want to get in contact with any of us individually, our Twitter tags will be down in the description. And enjoy our new intro song, because I'm about to play it again. Bye, everyone.
Bye.